I remember reading something way back in time about spirit without matter is expressionless, matter without spirit is motionless. And I watched so many people have an internal conflict between their spiritual path and their material quest. And I don't believe those have to be separate. I believe that they can be the same. My observation is if you have zero money saved and invested, and somebody gives you $1, the value of $1 is 100%. If you have $10 saved and somebody gives you another dollar, it's worth 10%. $100, it's worth 1%. $1,000, it's worth 0.1%. $1 million is 0.0001%. That means the more money you accumulate, the value of an additional dollar goes down. So you have to have a drive, an inspiration, a cause to grow wealth as you accumulate wealth. You have to have a bigger cause. Well, that's where spirit comes in. You need to have some service orientation, a desire to make a difference, a desire to serve people, or you'll plateau in your wealth making. So that's where spirit and matter work together. If you want more materialization and more wealth in your life, you have to have something that inspires you and some cause that's giving to people to be of service to people. I'm amazed at how people go out to their mailbox and they live in a fantasy that the mailbox is supposed to supply them with $1 million check out of the blue in some gambling game, when in fact it takes service. You know, there's one thing I say in my programs that unless you're willing to build a business that serves ever greater numbers of people, you have a delusion about building wealth, because it's not going to come unless you serve people. And if you don't have a desire to want to get up and do a service, you're holding yourself back from having the wealth that you want. And then you have to be able to refine that business and grow that business and develop that business, make it more effective and efficient to make sure there's profits in that business. And then you have to save a portion of those profits, then you have to invest those profits, and then you have to be able to accumulate the wealth, and then you have to be able to give back to society. If those aren't in place, the probability of you building wealth is very low. So in my programs, I teach people methodical, strategic specifics on how to do those 6 things. When they do, their wealth starts to happen in their life. But if they're looking for a quick get rich scheme, they need to go to another guy that's going to tell them some hype and sell them some dopamine fix so they can go to the gambling casino with their life. Well, the only reason they're not holding on to money is because they value whatever they're spending it on more than they're actually saving and investing the money. When you really truly value money, you see opportunities for it, you take actions on it, and you actually do the savings and investments. You actually learn about them. You desire to learn about them. And when people don't value money, they value other things. The second they get money, they spend it on things that they value more. So when somebody says, I can't seem to be able to afford saving, no matter what I do, I can't get ahead, I can't save and invest, it means they don't have a value on that. They have a value on buying whatever it is that they're buying instead. So I show people how to shift their values so they can actually save and invest and build their wealth. Because if you're living in a fantasy that you're going to get wealthy without having the values that it makes to get wealthy, it's a fantasy. There's certain things that must be in place if you're going to be wealthy in your life financially. There's no greed involved in wealth building. That's a fantasy too. That's another delusion. That's a sign. See, if you get around people that have more wealth than you, and other people around you that have less wealth than you, the people that have less wealth than you will think that you're expensive and greedy. The people that have more wealth than you will think you're cheap and generous. So the people you hang out with and their values will determine how they label you. But you're not greedy for having wealth. The people that devalue themselves think that. What you are is you're just providing greater service for people, and you're saving and investing in yourself. If you value serving people and you value yourself, you've got the ingredients to make wealth. But you got to value serving people or there's no source of wealth, and you got to value yourself or there's no savings for wealth. If you have a high value on wealth building and you have spirituality at the top, they can dovetail together. Anytime 2 values are close to each other, they help each other. Anytime 2 values are far from each other on the list of values, priorities of people, the more they cancel each other. So some people have a very high value on spiritual quest and wealth building. There are many people that have very fast fortunes and they do great spiritual things in the world, but they have them connected. Other people have them disconnected. That's why when you don't see spirit and matter joined, they're disconnected. And you'll struggle because you'll think, I got to do spiritual things, but matter and money is not important to me. Well, it's interesting. The people that negate money the most work their whole life for it. And the people that value it most have money work for them. So when you value money, it starts working for you. When you don't value money, you'll be working your whole life for it.